This is a bar chart trace created in Canva. No external tool or app, just Canva. A lot of people think you can't create a dynamic bar chart trace in Canva, but you actually can, and you'll be able to style it and export the video directly in MP4 format. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do all that from start to finish. If you want to learn how to make a bar chart trace using Flourish, which is another tool for this, make sure to check out my other tutorial for that. I'll put a link in the description. Now let's get started. Start by creating a new project in Canva. And once you are inside the Canva editor, look for the Charts tab. If you don't see it right away, go to Elements and you will see Charts. Select it. Or if you prefer to have charts available as a dedicated tab in your sidebar, go to Apps, then search for Charts. Select it and add it to the left sidebar. Here you will see a range of chart styles available: bar charts, line charts, pie charts, aerial charts, raised bars, and more. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you also notice an option to use the Flourish app. Flourish is another tool, an external platform now owned by Canva that works with many more templates and chart types. It has its own website where you can create and manage charts. I showed how to use Flourish for bar chart trace in the last video, so check that out if you are interested. To create a bar chart trace, scroll until you see the bar chart trace option and select it. This opens the chart editing panel on the left and adds a sample bar chart on the canvas. We are going to adjust the bar chart trace to fill the canvas. Play it back and you get a preview of what the sample template looks like using the sample data. In the chart editing panel, you see two tabs, the Data tab and the Customize tab. You upload and edit your dataset in the Data tab, and you style the look and feel of the raised bar chart in the Customize tab. In the Data tab, you will see the sample dataset, which you can replace with your own to create your raised bar animation. To add your own dataset, delete the sample data and click Import to upload your dataset file. For this tutorial, let's use the same dataset that we used in the Flourish tutorial, the top 20 economies in the world from 1980 to 2025. So I'm going to use Copilot and I'm going to ask it to give me the top economics in the world with the first column as country name, the second column as region, and from the third column, the GDP values. You can make it source this data from reliable places like the IMF or the World Bank, and you get a data set in CSV format. Once done, download the CSV file, then open it in Google Sheets or use Microsoft Excel. Then go through the files, make any adjustments you need, and then save it back as a CSV file. Now, back in Canva, in the chart editing panel, click the delete button to delete the sample data, and then click the import data button to upload your CSV file. Canva also supports direct connections to external data sources through data connectors like Google Sheets, Salesforce, Google Analytics, HubSpot data, and the World Bank. You can connect one of these sources instead of uploading a file. Once your dataset is uploaded, Canva automatically animates it using the default bar race template, and you see your bar chart trace updated with your own data. From here, you can start customizing the chart to make it look exactly the way you want. Under the dataset, you see the chart setup options. Here you can adjust labels, the axis, and even add more elements. The labels control the country column in your dataset, and that is fine. The time period controls the years in your dataset, and that's animated automatically. The color option controls the bar colors. Unlike Flourish, Canva doesn't have a built-in color palette for raised bar charts. By default, it applies one or two colors across all bars, unless you specifically add a color column to your dataset. This works fine if you are only relying on country names to distinguish the bars. But if you want to assign unique colors to certain countries or create the multicolor look you get in Flourish, you will need to add color codes to the country directly in your CSV file before importing. So if you want to do that, you can go back to your CSV file and then add a new column before the years, name it color, and then you can add X color codes for some countries. You don't need to fill every country, just the top economies like China, which is red. So add the red X color code, and then United States, navy blue, Canada, maple red, then other countries like Russia, UK, and so on. Once you are done, download the file as a CSV file, then go back to Canva and in the chart editing panel, delete the dataset and import the updated one. Now the dataset has a color column, and if you scroll down in the chart setup, you can select that column in the color field to load the colors. Now you can assign colors to specific countries or edit them further using the color boxes in the toolbar at the top of the canvas. Just click on the color box and use the color picker panel on the left to adjust or enter a color code. Next, click the Customize tab to style the chart. The legend controls the color codes shown at the top of the raised bar. Let's turn that off. Then adjust the height of the raised bar to fit the canvas. The axis labels, and that is fine. Then the title and subtitle fields lets you add text above the chart. For example, let's add top 20 economies in the world. You can also add a subtitle, but let's remove that. We don't need that. The source field lets you add text at the bottom of the chart. For example, let's add source, IMF, and World Bank. Then that will show at the bottom of the raised bar. The X-axis and Y-axis fields lets you add supporting label. For example, in the X-axis field, you can enter nominal GDP in USD, since there's no field to add the dollar sign. So we will add something like this to show that the values represent currency. In the settings, you can adjust the maximum visible bars and the animation speed. By default, Canva shows 10 bars, but since this is a top 20 economies bar raise, increase it to 20. The playback speed controls how fast the animation moves from year to year. At 1.0 is very fast, about half a second per year. Then if you reduce that to 0.5, now it's 1 second per year. Then if you reduce that 0.25, now it's even slower at 2 seconds for every year. So let's use 0.5. You can also set the animation to loop continuously. Now in the toolbar at the top, you can reduce the text size to make the chart look cleaner. You can change the font and adjust the colors, row spacing, bar roundness, alignment, and so on until the chart looks good. Play it back to preview the animation. And now you can export the video or the animation. Before exporting, note that when you add the raised bar chart to the timeline, Canva only places a short clip around 5 seconds on the timeline. When you preview the chart, you can see that the animation plays on the canvas. The playhead doesn't move through the timeline like it does with normal video clips. This means the timeline duration doesn't automatically match the animation duration. So if you export the video as it is, Canva will only render the length of the timeline layer. To make sure we get the full bar raise animation, you need to extend the chart layer in the timeline so that it corresponds to or is longer than the full animation length. For example, in this case, the animation is set to 1 second per year. From 1980 to 2017, the animation is going to be about 38 seconds long. So extend the chart layer in the timeline, make it exactly 38 seconds right before the video restarts. But I'm going to make it 40 seconds so that it stops right after the video restarts. This makes sure that the exported video matches the full animation duration. Once that's done, export the video in MP4 format at the highest quality available in your Canva version. And this is the result. A dynamic bar chart trace created entirely in Canva. And that's how you can create an animated bar chart trace in Canva. It is that simple. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more Canva video tutorial. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.